Welcome everyone, Joseph Hastrader here with the EWH University for Small Business, and welcome to this skill session on aligning potential with the job or potential with the role that we're trying to fill. The focus of this session and the outcome will be how do we use DISC and motivators for hiring, how do we integrate into the hiring process, how do we make smarter hiring decisions with DISC and motivators, and how do we also use it to facilitate the job benchmarking process so that when we're evaluating candidates and people that we want to hire for the role, we know they're a good fit. We'll also slightly touch on how to use DISC and motivators to unlock the potential of the team as well, with some of the insights it'll give you as the team as the whole and the team dynamics, either between different departments or between individuals, or what the needs might be of the different styles and motivators that are on a team, and we'll have a small example to help give you some frame of references for that as well. So the final outcome of this session you'll have the insights and the clarity to figure out where your starting point should be on how to implement this in your hiring process for more successful hires. Because the ultimate reality is we all know the time and energy, the cost of a wrong hire, both for us and the other person. And that is why this topic is so important, because it is about setting people up to win, both the company and the person fulfilling the role. Because if we're put in a role we're not made for, we've all had a time where we have to be something that we're not. And what this is about is aligning people with what they naturally do, because the job will self-reinforce their nature. And when we can do that, we can also be who we naturally are. Because when we have to put on a mask or constantly adapt because what's required of the job is something that we're not, like if you're a salesperson in an accounting role and you got to be introverted looking at details and spreadsheets all day long, or you're an introverted accountant that's got to fill an extroverted sales role all day long, talking to people and being out and about and making new contacts and new relationships, that gets exhausting if you have to be something that you're not. So by understanding our natural behavioral styles, our natural flow, and then by understanding the role, we can really align people to set them up to win and set ourselves up to win, so that we both know that we can be investing our time, energy, and resources in something that's really going to make a difference for us and them. Because we all know how much of a drain it can be on our energy when we're in a role that we're not made for, and we can also know some of the psychology or the self-talk that goes through ourselves when that happens. Like, is this worth my time? Is there something more out there? What else is there? Or you just get stressed and exhausted because you're constantly adapting or putting on a mask to be able to be who you need to be in that role. So it's really about setting up win-wins for both sides of it, so there's not pain on either side. And also, so if something's not working, we have the tools in place to be able to get some insights and clarity of what might be a better fit, whether that's transitioning into a different role within the company, or maybe to a different career, or you can also figure out how to transition the relationship to something different, whether that's internally or externally. And if you transition it even to something externally, which can always be difficult, at least you'll be able to give them some tools and some insight and distinctions of how to find something that's going to be a good fit for them. Because it's a gift in life when we can all find an environment and a peer group and a job that lines with our core self and who we really are in our nature and our essence. And not everyone's going to be a fit for who comes into our organization in terms of our culture fit or what the job requires. So if we can also wish people well along their way and set them up to win in their next position, to help facilitate their self-discovery process, to help them find something in their life that's truly rewarding and fulfilling and that they can be successful at, then we've made a difference, whether that's at our company or where they're going to land next. And ultimately what the outcome of that is to make more successful hiring decisions that set you up and the person fulfilling the role up to win. Because we have better insight and clarity on what's called for in the role, the tasks, the behaviors, the activities. We know what their natural behavioral styles and natural motivators are, and what those are will be self-reinforced by the role, because the role calls for what their natural behavioral style and motivators are. Additionally, if you're watching this session, we're not going to explain what DISC and motivators is here. So if for some reason you've landed on this session and you've not watched one of our other sessions, either in the Essential series or of the skill sessions about DISC and motivators, I strongly encourage you to go do that. To get some clarity though on the DISC styles and the motivators, you'll need to go watch those other segments so that when you refer to it here, you'll fully understand the context and some of our reference points. Again, we're gonna make sure that you can still get all the value out of this session without that, but you do need that as a base and a foundation to really bring this home for you, to really get clarity on how you're gonna use it, to establish some benchmarks for these roles, and also to be able to hire successfully utilizing some of these tools. If you landed here, you've also likely watched the Leadership Essentials class or the skill session on understanding your potential and developing your strengths. So we're really picking it up from there to be able to figure out how to use DISC and motivators then to make better hires and align people with the role. So if for some reason you haven't watched one of those, go back and make sure to check that out, or we're gonna pick it up from here.